So, you want to know how to get your wife to go with you when you go out on your bike. I know you're sick of going someplace beautiful and pulling over to the side of the road and admiring the view. You take a picture of it and you text it to your wife and say, honey, I wish you were here. Well, I know what you're talking about because my wife is no motorcycle enthusiast. She's not enthusiastic about any of the machines I love to fool around with. But we just got back from a 220-mile ride the other day, and she loved it. I know she loved it because I've heard her bragging to her friends about what a great time she had. In fact, what really gets the point across is, she also went out and bought motorcycle clothes and a pair of motorcycle boots for herself. How did that happen? Now, I'm no motorcycle instructor. I'm still kind of a duck walker, so you can learn how to ride a motorcycle from some of the experts. But me, I've been married 45 years, and my wife likes to ride a motorcycle now. How did that happen? And I'll tell you, there's just a few basic rules. I mean, on this ride the other day, I was out there on a curvy road. I was actually scraping the foot pegs, and she was just all smiles. So what you want to know what I did to get her to love it? Well, I've got 10 things you really need to do. You have to do every one of them. If you leave one out, your chances are severely restricted. Some of them are common sense, so I will tell you. The first one really is common sense. It's the first one I'm sure you've probably thought of, is go someplace nice. A restaurant. A nice restaurant. I don't mean McDonald's, I mean someplace nice. And that's going to cost you. But then again, look what you spent on your bike. So you can spend the money, a little bit of that, on your wife. It pays off. Point number 2. It should be common sense. To begin, go someplace nearby. A 10-minute ride, 15-minute ride to a nice restaurant. How can she say no to that? Think about it. I know we like to extend our ride a little bit. Oh, this is so much fun. Let's keep going. No. Think about, you gotta think about someone else besides yourself for a minute. Restrict yourself, drive directly back home from the restaurant, and make sure she has a nice time on that one ride. Point number 3. Choose smooth pavement. Now, I know you're watching the road surface like a hawk anyway, but now you have to kind of pretend you're a limousine driver and you've got a movie star here, and make sure it's the smoothest ride ever. I find that I can swerve around some rough pavement, and that does not bother my wife at all. But if I hit, boom, boom, it goes up the spine. My wife's in her mid-60s, okay? And she does feel every bump. So it matters. Point number 4, slow down. I know you like going fast. I know you like to twist the throttle and listen to the blast of noise. But she doesn't, okay? I was reminded of this just the other day. I just accelerating, and I hear the voice saying, hey, slow down. I said, I wasn't going very fast. Oh, but I was accelerating hard, and that's a guy thing. It's a guy thing. Get it through your head. It's a guy thing. Girls don't like it. That brings us to point number 5. Ride quietly. Makes a big difference. Again, the girls don't love that exhaust system that you paid extra money for, right? That aftermarket exhaust system. I know you love it. It's the sound of power. But guess what? You're the only one on your bike that thinks so. Get it through your head. Your queen on the back is getting a headache from it. You understand that? Think of it this way. You've seen a little kid with a whistle, right? Running around the yard blowing a whistle, and everybody wants him to stop it. The only person who really enjoys that whistle is the kid who's blowing it. And don't you wish you could tell him, just take that thing away and throw it over the fence? So you are that kid, all right? You are the kid. Your wife is not impressed. I have one of my wife's friends has a really nice way of putting this. She says, when she hears a loud bike going by, she says, oh, it's just some guy blowing his testosterone out the tailpipe. Well, you know, it's true. So learn to accelerate gently. Try short shifting. Just quiet it down. Point number 6. It's good to go for rides with friends. And if you got friends with their wives coming along, that's great. And here's what you got to do. You have to arrange with your buddy that when you come to a stop at a red light, make sure that you and he, your bikes are aligned together so that you can converse with him and the girls on the back can converse with each other. Now you know what that does for your wife? Suddenly, this whole thing becomes a social event. If at every red light she can gab with somebody she likes, your girlfriends, it's a little detail that makes a big difference. Girls generally love social events. So riding a bike becomes a party. Simple. Point number 7. Be a follower. So when you do go riding with your friends, try not to be the first bike out there. You know why? Is because your wife on the back is worried about safety, and she's probably whined and complained to you about motorcycle safety, and it's a real issue. So if she can simply watch other bikes zooming effortlessly down the road, it has a very deep psychological effect on your wife. If they're smooth and free following every curve on the road ahead of her, and she's doing the same thing 3 seconds later, that's the feeling of safety. So if the people in front are in no danger, neither is she. It's simple. Point number 8. Stop often. Stop and get off your bike for any reason you can think of. You can get gas, you can go to the bathroom, you can get coffee, you can get a snack, you can stop to see the view. Whatever it is, just think of some excuse to stop, because again, half the fun for her is getting off, and you run into people who come over and say, oh, what a cool bike you got. You know, your wife, she does actually enjoy that, I'm pretty sure. Because if other people think you're cool, what does she think? Think of the statement you're making. It can go a long way for you. And so what you have to do then is figure out her limits. If she's only good for 20 minutes, stick to 20 minutes, okay, per leg. And fight that urge to just keep going. Oh, this is such a smooth road. Oh, it's such a beautiful evening. Let's go. No. You told her you were going to be done in 5 minutes. Make sure you're done in 5 minutes. Point number 9. Now we get to spending some money. My wife really likes the intercom. Now, I found one used on eBay. It was barely used, and it was like $125 for a set of 2. So that really solved a huge problem. Made the whole thing more enjoyable, because if you're going to stick her on this seat back there and not talk to her, and she's getting blasted by the wind, and she can't talk to any. You just think of what you're asking a person to do. And you know what? You don't like riding on the back seat either, for the same reasons. So in intercom, at least you can gab, you can see things, she can talk to you. A lot of girls just love the gab, and that can go a long ways for you. And point number 10, I'm sorry about this, but get a comfortable bike. It's expensive, all right? It's expensive. But we're all looking at motorcycles when we ride, and you know why we're doing that? It's because you're looking at the other bike and saying, is that the bike I should really own instead of this one? Well, when I started working on this problem and getting my wife to go with me, I was riding a 650 V-Star, not a big bike. I thought it was comfortable, but I was always looking at something bigger, and then I started thinking, well, wait a second, what about the back seat? Let's shop for a back seat. And that's when I started looking at the Goldwings, because you know how people make jokes, oh, it's a rolling couch, a rolling chaise lounge, or whatever. Well, my wife brags about the comfortable ride, okay? So when you start looking at other bikes, start looking at back seats. Look how comfortable it is, and imagine yourself, if you're looking at a bike that's got a little pad of rubber on the rear fender, how long do you want to ride on that thing? Now, maybe if your wife is a little skinny mini, you're newly married, and maybe she's into motorcycles. Oh, maybe she'll do fine on that. I know girls like that. That's great. But as we get older, yeah, we need our comfort. So they say this is the old man bike, and I qualify. Okay, and this is why. Now my wife goes with me. So yeah, when I bought this, I told her it's her bike. I bought this for her. It comes with a driver, and it's a lot of money, and I told her she's worth it. Got a lot of mileage out of that, I'll tell you. So, and the other funny thing is, I don't find myself looking at any other motorcycles anymore. Isn't that funny? So there's 10 good points for you. And I hope it works for you. Like I say, I'm no motorcycle expert, but I do know a thing or two about staying married. You can either pay for flowers or pay for lawyers, all right? So buy yourself a comfortable bike, and you won't have to pay for the lawyer. You understand? Okay. I'm talking to you like a father and a son here, so I hope you get the point. And that's all I got for you. Happy riding, and tell your wife I said hi, will you?